Hello everyone. I've counted the votes, and the card you wanted me to talk about most are the Ragers, some of the best cards ever put into the game. So let's begin, shall we? Magma Rager, Ice Rager, Magma Rager and Shadow Rager are the Ragers within Hearthstone, and they should form a band as soon as possible. There's a running joke which started with the Magma Rager as to how bad these cards are. At BlizzCon 2014, they announced this one to be the worst card at the time, with a 29% win rate in the games that it's actually played in.
Magma Rager? Why would you play this card?
Despite this, Ben Broder said that they're perfectly fine with some cards like the Magma Rager not being used since they're still doing a good job. It's cool to start with a couple of bad cards like the Magma Rager, which is automatically added to your collection as you begin the game, because it makes you feel more powerful when you earn more and better cards. With its weak stats, the community rallied behind the Magma Rager to figure out some sort of way to make it viable in the game, figure out what kind of decks could be used, but most of the time the conclusion is simply don't play this piece of crap. That doesn't stop Hearthstone from adding more versions into the game, since the Grand Tournament set, that one introduced the Ice Rager, which is a lot cooler than a Magma Rager, with 1 extra health. This apparently led to complaints about power creep, new cards being better than their previous alternatives. However, Ice Rager, that one requires collecting or crafting, while the Magma Rager, that one is automatically added into all collections, making this instead a path for the player progression through gaining better versions of cards. On top of that, the definition of power creep requires a better version of an already good card, which Ice Rager doesn't fulfill, as Magma Rager, like I just said, it's not one of the best cards in the game. Jokingly, with the Whispers of the Old Gods edition, Magma Rager made it into the game with a reverse name, reverse stats and reverse flavor text, which if you turn it around, it reads power creep. The last Rager to be added to the family so far is the Shadow Rager with the Mean Streets of Kyrgyzstan edition. Same stats as the Magma Rager, only this one is class specific and it has stealth. Oh yes, they went there. So, lore-wise, where can we find these creatures? Well, it starts off strange right away with the Magma Rager. The card description says that he likes to think that he is powerful, but pretty much anyone can solo Molten Core now, which seems to indicate that this creature comes from the Molten Core, but that's not the case. The art of the card, that shows a bound fire elemental with the actual Magma Rager, that one can be found with an Ulduar around the Colossal Forge, just before the Ignis the Fire Master fights. You could say that the card description is more about how powerful he is as a fire elemental, but they originally come from the Firelands and not the Molten Core. Anyways, the Ice Rager, that one has a similar story, where the art of the card, it shows a bound water elemental, and the Ice Rager itself is not present within the game. That's not to say that we haven't seen water elementals, their power being used to shoot out ice and use ice magic. Mages, for example, they have an elemental all to themselves that do just that. The Magma Rager, that is the corrupted version of the Magma Rager, set within the Whispers of the Old Gods setting, as in a world taken over by the Old Gods, and this one seems to be all out of fire and turned into stone. This could be the reason why he has less offensive power, but more durability. And then finally, there is the rogue-specific Shadow Rager, which, despite sharing its name with the Elemental Ragers, it seems to be more like the Shades that we've seen in the past. During Warcraft 3, for example, the Shades were created with the Sacrificial Pit, and their stealth was used to scout out ahead, spy on the enemy, and figure out what was going on. Comparing it to the other Shade cards that we've seen in Hearthstone, you can definitely see the resemblance.
I ain't got nobody.
And that is where we'll end the story of the Ragers for today. As always, I'll leave it up to you guys and girls to decide what card we're going to talk about next. So leave your suggestions in the comments down below, and who knows, your cards might be used in the next video. Subscribe if you like my videos, leave a like if you enjoyed this one, and until next time guys, see ya!